Welcome to Craft Camp. We're making a Honeycomb Valentine for your special child. I hope you enjoy it. Please like and subscribe. Okay, first we're going to go over the supplies you need. Of course, you're going to need a paper trimmer or scissors. I used both. Some glue. The glue stick works best. You can use tape. The liquid glue is really not an option. Paper, cardstock, and tissue. I thought this was tissue. It is not. Scissors, and of course, embellishments. Mine is going to say, "We're wild about you." So those little stickers were little wild critters. All right, let me clear my space here. The tissue that I thought I purchased, it was actually plastic. I made it work, but it was difficult. All right, so you cut your card, of course, the size you want it. I went ahead and cut the piece, the cover piece, and glued it down with my glue stick. So I'm gonna set that aside. Now with the next part, you're gonna need a marker also. Okay, so back to this tissue. It is plastic. I got it at the dollar store thinking, oh, let me just grab some, and come to find out it's plastic. So I cut them into squares, and depending on how big you want your final piece to be, is the bigger the square you need, the more tissue you will need. So here I'm marking lines for the glue, and I'll explain why in just a second. But I did mine because it's going to be a 3-inch heart. I guess my squares are about 6 inches, so I could have made it bigger. I'm doing them in 1/2 inch increments. So the bottom, I mark the 1/2 inches. Now I'm going up and down. You do need the lines to show above and below your tissue, because this is how you're going to do it. If you have a bigger piece that you want to make, your spacing is going to be bigger, or you're going to have very small honeycomb. So it just depends on how big you want your holes to be in the honeycomb. Now here I'm using the edge of the glue stick, and I'm going every other line. Layer it. Now do the opposite lines. Again, every other line, until you get them all done. I had 20 in my stack. Ignore that. Later, I even added more lines so it would cover more area on my square. So you just keep up this process. So have some music on. You really can't watch TV because you need to pay attention to which ones you're working with. Like I said, I tried it with liquid glue, a glue pen, and an Elmer's glue pen on this saran wrap type plastic cellophane. That's what it is, cellophane. And it did not dry. I think tissue paper would absorb it too much as well. But if you had a adhesive pen that was very precise and tacky but not liquid, I think you'd be good to go. Here, grab the wrong glue stick. So if you notice that glue is real stringy, that's just old glue. So I got to switch out in a minute. I cut this out and you glue it down. But the thing is, let me show you. I'm going to draw a line on it. And the line of the glue go in one direction, and the line of the shape you want needs to go in the opposite direction. Like, not opposite, I'm sorry, perpendicular. So they are not, one is the vertical and horizontal, if that helps, or perpendicular for our math teachers out there. And the reason is, if you do it the same direction, you're not going to see the honeycomb pattern that you made with the glue. And I needed a white marker to be able to see where my center was. That's all I did. Okay, so later I ended up peeling this off and doing it with a smaller pink heart, so that will be our final product. But you cut around the heart, and I show that in just a minute. You're going to need some good sharp scissors, at least if you get this cellophane. I did have some difficulty with it, and in just a moment, once I get the pink heart on, you'll see another way to cut it that makes it a little easier. I just kind of played with it until I could cut it well. Okay, so here I'm testing to see where my honeycomb is, and that one didn't get glued down. Everything sticks together. There's my honeycomb pattern, and that's when I started thinking, wait a minute, something's not right here. Let me check my video. So I'm going to stop in just a moment, go check my video. I will peel off this black heart, put on the pink heart in the right direction, and show you how to cut it out. All right, I'm back. Here's the pink heart, and I'm just cutting into the center to the heart. And because it was so many layers thick, and it just cut in, all the way around it, just up to the heart, and then I stopped. I didn't cut the heart at all. Sorry if you hear the children playing in the background. They're outside neighborhood kids having fun on the weekend. So here I'm cutting out the heart shape. And see how much easier it is. These are better scissors as well. These are my Cricut scissors. Love them. They're super sharp. Not for children. And I just keep going all the way around. Oh, and happy Valentine's. Didn't think about that. It's coming up. This is for my grandson. There we go. All right, so then you cut the heart in half. Okay, just like that. Right up the center. You want it, whatever shape you have that you want to make, that you've just cut out, you want to cut it up the center, and then you're going to glue the two non-cardstock sides together. Then you can open it up and you'll see the honeycomb. Now at this point I'm going to get my card and start gluing the cardstock, and I'm going to put it in the center. So when he opens the card, it's a poofy heart, and it's just a glue stick, just a kid's glue stick. And there's my heart. And of course, because I had cellophane, I have all these little pieces around that want to stick to me because they stick really well with static electricity. All right, and I had, this is just from my stock, my craft stash, if you will, some foam hearts and some stickers. These are my little critter stickers. And I had an idea that I wanted to do the honeycomb heart in the center of the card, but I didn't know where else I wanted to do. So I ended up with a hedgehog, an owl, and a squirrel. I just want to make sure that when I'm folding it, so I make sure that my critter stickers don't overlap and become too bulky, because I don't want my envelope to be too thick when I go to put it in the mail. And the squirrel's holding an acorn, so I gave him another little acorn, and I gave the hedgehog a mushroom. Let's see. I was trying to think about what I was going to put on the front, And I knew I wanted Happy Valentines, and then on the inside, we're wild about you. I attempted to use a marker. That was an epic fail, and I had to start over. And of course I wanted my spelling right, so I had to write it out first. I'm known to misspell it after I get started. I was trying to write really pretty. I ended up giving up and using stickers. I cut them on my Cricut. You can use store-bought stickers. You can print it out and cut it in a pretty shape. And here I go. Oh, I was so devastated, but we made it work. Here we are. We've got a new one assembled. Everything came off fine. I've cut out my letters already on my Cricut, you see on the left-hand side. And this is reverse peeling, where you put a box around it. And I didn't use any transfer tape. I was just going to freehand place them. And so I'm reverse weeding. You make a box and you attach it, and then you cut it out. And then all you have to do is cut the box out and then peel it, and now you've got your letters just on the backing. You can then use your transfer tape and place it over the word and then pick it up and put it on your project, or do what I do and just freehand it. He's 1.5, so he doesn't really care. I just wanted it to be something fun, something I could do. I enjoy making cards. I don't make them often enough. I do end up buying them from the Dollar Tree a lot for lack of planning, I guess. But you'll see I have to end up kind of squishing them in a little bit when I get to the end. Anyways, I did have fun. I don't know why I felt so rushed to make this, but I had plenty of time. And I'm used to crafting by myself just here in the empty apartment, but I had people home that day. Here's our finished product, my Happy Valentines. Oh yeah, I added the snake on the front, and I didn't show you. I added green boa to the bottom. Well, I hope y'all like this video. Happy Valentine's Day. Please subscribe and follow us on the social medias. Thanks for coming to Craft Camp.